Terrifying locations, our minds almost automatically go to like peeling paint in abandoned asylums or the creaking floorboards of some Gothic haunted house. But the story we're unpacking today actually suggests the scariest places in America aren't those obvious tropes at all. They're the desolate, entirely forgotten spaces hiding right out in the open. Specifically, we're talking about an empty, flickering gas station on a lonely stretch of Route 66.
So, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into the last call on Route 66. We're going to break down the chronological timeline of this genuinely terrifying encounter, which was documented by a lone driver back in October of 2023. It's a wild ride, so let's get into it.
All right, part one, midnight on Route 66, the setup.
Picture this. Our narrator is driving completely alone through northern Arizona. They've just made a crucial mistake, missing their hotel exit. And then, just after midnight, boom, the GPS loses its signal entirely. This is that exact stomach-dropping moment they lose their tether to the modern, connected world. They're suddenly flying blind in the dark.
They are now facing this profound, almost suffocating physical isolation. We're talking absolutely no cars, no streetlights, just endless, inky darkness stretching out across the desert. And then, right out of this vast nothingness, a weakly flickering sign appears like a mirage. It's an old gas station, and it only has a single working pump.
Moving on to part two, the ringing phone, the inciting incident.
So the narrator pulls up to this dimly lit station and steps out of their car, and immediately the environment feels deeply, fundamentally wrong. The air is unnaturally dead. Out in the desert at night, you expect wind, maybe the hum of cicadas or insects, but here, absolutely nothing. They walk into the store, call out a hesitant hello that just hangs in the air unanswered, and they find these shelves coated in thick dust, yet bizarrely fully stocked with decades-old snacks.
Then, that heavy, dead silence is completely shattered. An old physical telephone sitting behind the dusty counter begins to ring. Once, twice, exactly 3 times. I want you to take note of this number, 3. As we map out this encounter, you'll see this number becomes a totally crucial repeating motif. Which brings us to part 3, the tall man, the climax. Now, despite this overwhelming sense of dread, the narrator actually reaches out and answers that ringing phone. I know, right? A man's voice on the other end doesn't say hello. He simply whispers, "Don't look behind you." It is the ultimate psychological trap. The narrator just freezes, caught right between that primal instinct to spin around and the sheer terror of what might be standing right behind them.
Then the voice on the phone continues, offering this highly specific, chilling detail. He's standing at pump number 3. Now, remember, the narrator parked their car at pump 2. Prompted by this whisper, they don't turn around, but they slowly look out through the grime of the store window, past their own vehicle, peering toward that third pump.
And this is exactly what they see. A figure standing perfectly still behind pump 3. It's a tall man dressed entirely in black clothes with absolutely no recognizable face. But honestly, what's most terrifying here isn't just his presence, it's his absolute stillness. He isn't moving. He isn't even breathing. He is simply watching. Okay, part 4, 3 slow knocks, the panic. At this point, pure, unadulterated panic sets in. The narrator drops the phone receiver, glances back out the window, and the tall man has vanished without a single trace. They immediately bolt outside to their car. They turn the key, but the engine just refuses to start. It sputters again and again, failing completely. And then the ultimate terror arrives right at the driver's side window. That terrifying motif returns, exactly 3 slow knocks on the glass, literally inches from the narrator's head. Paralyzed by fear, the narrator absolutely refuses to turn their head to see what or who is knocking on that window. A full 30 seconds passes in this agonizing standoff. Just imagine that, 30 seconds of gripping the steering wheel, waiting for the glass to shatter or for the knocks to start up again, and then just silence. Finally, miraculously, the engine turns over, and the narrator speeds away from there as fast as humanly possible. Finally, part 5, the 1987 headline, the resolution, and the twist. The narrator makes it to the nearest town and frantically pours out this entire ordeal to the local sheriff. But the sheriff just stays quiet for a really long time. He doesn't ask for a physical description of the man, he doesn't ask about the car, he just asks one highly specific question. Did you answer the phone? And when the narrator nods yes, all the color just drains from the sheriff's face. This one single question completely reframes the entire experience we just went through.
Let's look at the cold, hard facts. The sheriff pulls out this old, yellowed newspaper article, and the details line up with eerie exactness. In October 2023, our narrator experienced this nightmare. But look at the headline on the right, from October 1987. Gas station owner found dead, midnight call turns tragic. The original incident happened at the exact same location, involved the exact same pump, and featured the exact same warning.
And here is the absolute most chilling revelation of this whole story. That gas station, it had been completely abandoned for over 30 years. Think about that for a second. The flickering lights, the functioning gas pump, those decades-old snacks on the shelves, they were artifacts of a place that technically hasn't even existed since the original owner lost his life there in 1987.
The narrator makes it very clear they have never driven Route 66 again. But as we see here, escaping the physical geography didn't necessarily mean escaping the event itself. The text concludes with this really unsettling detail. Sometimes, even now, right around midnight, the narrator's cell phone will ring from an unknown number. When they answer, nobody speaks. There are only 3 slow knocks on the other end of the line. So, I'll leave you with this to consider. If that gas station has been dead for over 30 years, who or what is still waiting on the other end of that line today?